Go.
Hello class. I wanted to give you a video on your activity 18 to kind of give you a little guidance. I think the directions are clear. Also, there's a drawing that you can use as a guide, but a video may help as well. So this activity is a real simple classification around colors, primary and secondary colors. It also is an activity actually that goes into forensic science, something called chromatography. We're doing paper chromatography, but they actually do other kinds of chromatography. They do a gas chromatography, forensic scientists, and they can actually use that as a way to catch people that have committed crimes. So let's talk about this activity a little bit, how you set it up. You have a lot of alternatives if you don't have the materials I've got here. For example, the directions say use filter paper. This is coffee filter paper. The bigger the better. But you could also use a paper towel strip for this. You don't necessarily have to use filter paper. I guess these days you don't want to use toilet paper, but it'll actually work as well. So to do this, I want you to find yourself 3 markers. And I've got 2 black and a green. Green's really good to show separation into colors. I don't want to kill inquiry. It's kind of hard to do this not face-to-face though, and not give you exactly what you got to do. Let me just say, if it doesn't work, go find another pen and try it out. There's a certain key to make sure this works. And I want you to figure out why it did or it didn't work. So what you need to do, if you have filter paper, I always say the longer the strip, the better. But with that said, you need big cups. Here's 3 obese cups. So 3 cups. Filter paper, I think it says cut a strip a couple of centimeters in width, like this. And after you've cut your strip of filter paper, get your marker. And I think the directions, well, I don't think, I know, I wrote the directions, say put a dot a couple of centimeters up from the bottom end of your filter paper. There's nothing wrong if you want to go crazy with this and put your mark all the way across, like this. Now the key here is you don't want water to touch that marker. You want the water to touch the bottom of the filter paper. So you got to pour in enough water into your cup so that it just touches the bottom. And I've got a little bit of water. I think the directions say 100 milliliters. Well, that kind of depends on the length of your filter paper and how much water you have. I mean, there's a lot of variables here. Get a straw like this. Don't have to use a straw, you can use a pen. Basically, you need something to hang on the cup. Don't run the tape all the way across the filter paper, because what happens may require the whole filter paper and the tape will just stop what's happening. So just put the tape on the edge of the filter paper, like that. Then you want to put it down in the cup with the water, like so, and you want to make sure that it doesn't touch the sides. Perfect. So the water's not touching the marker. The filter paper's not touching the side of the cup. Now this is going to take a while, so just let it sit. And you should put a picture that you actually did this with the activity. Convince me that you did the activity. So you got 2 more cups. So do a black marker and do another black marker, different brand, and see what happens. And like I said, if none of them work, you need to go find you a pen that will work. And one of the questions is, well, why didn't such and such marker work? That's the end of that activity, with the exception of these things over here. I wanted to tell you this. Great activity to think about putting colors into categories. It really would be a focus for the early grades, colors. There's a lot of science though. This activity could actually stretch into high school, if not college. Middle grades, some common terms like solute, solvent, solution could come out of the activity. High school, molecular weight, chemical separation, osmosis is a word that could come out. Also, in the forensic element is identifying unknowns would be a thing to think about when you're thinking of this big word, paper chromatography. By the way, this activity comes from a curriculum called Greater Explorations in Math and Science. Really good stuff. If you want something that'll supplement your book, they write these really neat, well-graphic curriculums. They have a whole book on bubbles, bubbleology, but and its acronym is GEMS. I would highly recommend that.